fans. So I just did a big old rant regarding the disappointing feeling I have regarding boxing in the year 2022. Now I want to ask you guys, what is your expectations for the year 2023 when it comes to boxing? Me, oh my god, my expectations are high. My expectations are a lot, because it's just I already went through that rant. I already talked about what a disappointment this year was when it came to boxing. It was very unfortunate. A lot of fights we didn't get to have, a lot of events that we didn't get to have. Just it was just so much that went wrong, so much. And what I hope to have happen this year is simple. I would love quite a few fights to take place because boxing is by far my number one sport. Boxing by far is something that I continue to watch every single day. I continue to train all the time. I just so much enjoy boxing. I really, really do. I watch old tapes, new tapes. I watch them all. And, with the sport being the way it is, I really hope things do get figured out. And I really hope things do get fixed to a certain degree. Because, again, boxing has always been like the biggest sport ever. Regarding that entertainment, because you go back into the earlier days from Jack Dempsey to Joe Louis to Muhammad Ali, where football and baseball was around, but when boxing and the heavyweight championship of the world was on the line, it's just like the whole world almost stopped just to see these guys fight, to hear about it, to hear about it on the radio, and to read about it in the newspaper. That's how far this goes back. It's always been just, it's almost like a big holiday when you have two great boxers going at it, and there are literally, like, almost like I said, the world stops just to, like, people take the day off, people leave early from work, people forget, throw parties, and they just, they buy the pay-per-view, or they go to the event, spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to watch these guys live. And lately it's just been feeling, little by little, it's just like it just does not have that same feeling anymore. It doesn't have that same entertainment no more. It doesn't have that same drive and that same the same action, the same style. It just, everything has so much changed when it comes to boxing. So here it is, guys. Here's my big expectations for the year 2023 for boxing. My first big fight I would love to see is Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora. Not Derek Chisora, excuse me. No, we definitely don't want to see that again. Alexander Usyk. Usyk is just by far on fire. We already seen what he was able to do to Anthony Joshua twice. And it was a relatively closer fight in the second fight, but still, he was still able to pick him apart very easily. We already know Tyson Fury, he is just so dangerous. He is just so, with his height, with his reach, he's able to use it to his advantage. I mean, he has great footwork. He moves around like he is a light heavyweight. I mean, he has good speed. He has the great jab. He has everything to really give Usyk problems. But Usyk also has a good style as well. But bottom line is, I believe Tyson Fury just has the style that just can give Usyk and anybody else in that division so much trouble. So much trouble just because of how long he is and how he's able to use that to his advantage. And it's always must-see TV with Tyson Fury. Always must-see TV because he just brings out that entertainment. He is such a charismatic guy. He is such an energetic guy. He brings the audience alive every time he fights. From the press conferences to the weigh-in to the fight to even after the fight. So yes, that is definitely my number one. My number two, same guy, Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Even though Anthony Joshua has not really looked the same in recent years, he has lost quite a few. He's already lost 2 in a row. We remember that Andy Ruiz knockout that he had, but he did avenge it. He got a few good victories over his belt. He has beaten quite a few good heavyweights himself. But I just believe with this whole history that these guys had, the times that this fight almost came about, where these guys were definitely going to meet up in the ring, and the beef that he has with his promoter Eddie Hearn and everything. It's such a good build, and it would really be a fun fight to see these guys finally go at it with each other, because they've been trash talking each other left and right, left and right, left and right. It would really be fun. It would be really, really fun to see that. Even though, like I said, Anthony Joshua has been a little bit on the downslide. He's already lost 2 in a row. He might need to get a few victories underneath his belt, but still, would love to see it. My third one would definitely be another one in the heavyweight division. These guys, because there's so much potential in the heavyweight division right now, and I would love to see Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. You know, these guys, Deontay Wilder had just made his comeback. I can't remember the opponent's name, forgive me. And Andy Ruiz made his comeback. I want to say it was September, maybe somewhere around that time frame, against Chris Arreola. And it was a relatively good fight, but still, Andy Ruiz has looked like he's sharpened up. He looks like he's sharpened up some of his skills. He's moving on from different trainers, but I believe he set. I can't remember exactly what trainer he's at now, but still, it would be a fun fight for these guys. You know, Deontay Wilder, I think he is by far the second best heavyweight outside of Tyson Fury, because everybody he's been in there with, he's already knocked out. Like no one's ever survived outside of Tyson Fury, and even Tyson Fury will tell you that he hits harder than any other person he's ever fought. And the fact that he's already put Tyson Fury down a grand total of what, 4 times, maybe 5? I think it was 4 times. 2 times in the first one, 2 times in the third one. So it would definitely be a fun fight with these guys. You know, again, Andy Ruiz, he's just getting better and better and better. He has that great victory, that great well-known victory over drawing a blank. Oh yeah, Anthony Joshua. Just said it. Just drew a blank, guys. So that would be another fun fight. Another one I would like to see, definitely by far, hands down, probably the number one, is Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Guys, these guys are both in their prime. These guys are both ready to go. I mean, right now, they're getting slightly older. We know this fight has been linked up multiple times, and the contract disputes has just continued to just fall apart over and over and over again. I'm getting deja vu from Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. I'm starting to get that feel like maybe one is trying to wait the other one out. Like, hey, let's wait for this guy to slow down. Let's wait for this guy to, like, you know, not be where he wants to be at. I'm not sure who to put the blame on it right now. I know Terrence Crawford publicly made some videos regarding the negotiation, regarding his side of things. I haven't heard much from Errol Spence, but I know Errol Spence said a few things as well. So it's unfortunate, but I really do hope this fight does transpire this year. This coming year, excuse me. I really do hope, because that is by far the biggest fight to make. Unfortunately, these two guys don't have that superstar status. So when these guys are talking about, well, I'm a star. Unfortunately, both of you guys are not really that superstar status. You know, not like a Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. You guys ain't gonna break those numbers. You guys ain't gonna match those numbers. Unfortunately, no, it's not gonna happen. Because these guys, Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather, were superstars. Yeah, they might be stars, but they're not superstars in the ring. So I really hope these guys can finally get together and make each other superstars, because that's what they do. They need each other. They need each other to cross over into that next world. So hopefully these guys do meet up. Hopefully these guys get it together and we get to see it in 2023. Another one I want to see, which looks like it's definitely 90% going to happen unless something else happens that we do not know about or in the future, but in April 18th or around that time frame, forgive me if I'm getting that date wrong, you got Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis. I want to see that fight for so bad. Again, just like Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence, these guys are both in their prime. These guys are both undefeated. It's going to be a very, very fun fight. A very, very fun fight. You know, you got Tank Davis, who is just this straight up bulldog. He is coming out there and he's crushing everybody left and right. You got Ryan Garcia, who is super fast, lightning quick, and he is just becoming a bigger star in his own right. This is going to be one hell of a fight. One hell of a fight. I am so looking forward to it. I hope nothing goes wrong, and I hope it does go down 100%. Another fight, definitely, just, you know what? I talked about the lightweight division. It is so stacked. I mean, anybody could fight anybody. I would love Lomachenko to get a rematch with Teofimo Lopez. I would like Teofimo Lopez to go in there against Ryan Garcia. I would like Ryan Garcia against, again, like I just talked about, Tank Davis or Lomachenko. These guys could fight each other all day in the ring. Of course, Devin Haney. You got Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson up in there now. You got like I said, Devin Haney, he's in there. You got Gamboa, who's still a pretty good fighter, but he already lost twice to Devin Haney. But he did beat Teofimo Lopez, so that'll be a good fight for Teofimo Lopez. The lightweights fighting each other is just, even if we don't get none of those other fights, if the lightweights fight each other this year alone, there is just so much you can do with there. So much. It's just jam-packed. But probably the biggest one you can make would be Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. I know a lot of people are saying, what about Shakur Stevenson? Well, Shakur Stevenson is relatively new to the lightweight. So I would like to see where he's at. I would like to see how that new weight is, how he's comfortable at, because he's still relatively small. I believe he was at featherweight. Now he's going to go up to lightweight. I want to see how he feels out with this. I want to see if he's able to handle the new power, these guys' new size, because if you look at Shakur Stevenson and you look at Teofimo Lopez, who did make 135, that's a big size difference. A big size difference. So I definitely would like to see him fight a few fights first before mixing him in there with the big dogs. But still, Lomachenko, you can't go wrong with him. Lomachenko, he's already fought a few times. He did unfortunately lose all his balance to Teofimo Lopez, and he had some setbacks. Of course, he is from Ukraine, and we already know what's going on over there. It's very unfortunate, but he is coming back. So it'll be very fun to see. Devin Haney has already made a lot of noise in the lightweights, and he is he's just trying to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, guys, lightweights alone could literally steal the show from boxing this year, for sure. Canelo Alvarez. There really isn't a whole lot of big you could do with Canelo Alvarez right now outside of his rematch with Bivol. I'm sure he definitely wants that. I'm sure he really wants to get his hands on Bivol. I do feel like he feels like he can just win. He could get that victory back, but you never know. Maybe he's waiting for Bivol to go and collect all the belts, because I think that's where Alvarez's goal is. He did it at 168, was the undisputed champ, and maybe that's something he wants to do also on lightweight. You never know. Outside of that, maybe a David Benavidez fight, because, David Benavidez is an action fighter. He is definitely a tough fight, but I just feel like the way I see Canelo going is like, he doesn't see Benavidez too much to gain there, because it's true, there's not a whole lot to gain. If I was Benavidez, I would go up to light heavyweight, add on that muscle mass and everything, and try to collect a belt, and that's a good way to get, into with Canelo, because that's what Canelo's about. He's trying to chase belts. He's trying to chase greatness. He's he'll defend his belts, but unless he has something to gain too. Unfortunately, Benavidez is not a big superstar, not relatively known, so it's not going to sell a whole lot. Maybe in a couple of years, or maybe a year or two max, with Benavidez getting some victories, fighting against well-known competitors like he is, going against Caleb Plant. Oh, these guys have beef. These guys have like a lot of tension between each other. If you look in their history, they've been going back and forth with each other, throwing shots at each other. I believe they even exchange words and punches at each other. So yeah, I'm not sure 100% when that fight might be going down, but it sounds like it is going down. So there's that with Canelo and with David Benavidez. So yeah, guys, there's always these fun action fights we can see. You still got Danny Garcia out there. You still got Keith Thurman out there. You still got the Charles brothers out there. You still got you still got the other heavyweights out there as well. There's other heavyweights out there that are trying to make the name for themselves and trying to make a big splash with each other as well. You got the lighter weights, like the featherweights and such like that. So it's a very fun time. Of course, why you can't even forget about the females going on. You got Shields, you got Amanda, you got Katie, you got Sanisa. You got all these great female fighters who are really making bringing a lot of noise to boxing and to the female boxing as well. So it should be on paper a very good year for boxing if everybody could really work with each other. And I hope and pray it does. So guys, let me know in the comments on who you feel and who you think and what would you like to see in 2023 when it comes to boxing. What would you like to see happen? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.